Roll the intro. Right, guys, that was a promotional video. Thank you very much. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. We've got a special guest on the other line. She's going to be tuning in from New York, New York. You'll find out who she is. I'm excited to have her on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have our special guest from New York, New York, the one and only. She'll introduce herself. Here she is.
Hey,
Hello,
how are you,
Jenna.
Melvin? How's
I'm
everything?
very well, thank you. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Jenna Marie Stone. So those of you who are watching hashtag live, hashtag replay. So Jenna Marie Stone, how are you? How are you first of all? And where are you?
Phenomenal. Oh, phenomenal. If you can see what's going on behind me, I'm trying to fight the sun for you, but yeah, it's just breathtaking. New York weather this time of year is the best. It really is. I'm getting
Mm.
like a line. Do you see me okay?
Yeah,
Um,
we've got some sun rays. See, you're glowing. You're glowing. The
oh,
sun loves
okay.
you.
So let's see if I can turn myself just a little bit. Let's see. Is that better? Maybe. That's better.
That's
Okay.
better. Okay,
That'll
brilliant.
work. All
Okay, it
right.
does.
Yeah. So I'm
So right,
excited to be
all right.
here. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So Jenna Marie Stone, we met last year. For those of you that don't know about you, some of them do know about you. Just tell us a bit about yourself. Just tell us your background and how you got on started online. I mean, how long have you been online and all that shenanigans? So just give us
Sure.
a bit of a backstory. Cheers.
Sure. So I have been in the online space since probably when Facebook started, like I will say 2009 internet wise, but I've been
Mhm,
online outside of, let's say, social media. Before that,
mhm,
they had like a digital marketing program that I was involved in. So and then before that, it was all multi-level marketing, health and wellness.
mhm.
And then Amway way back in the 80s. So I always
Wow.
say, and I kid around that my resume would be 50 pages long if I had to submit it. But it's been over 20, about 23, almost 24 years in network marketing at some fashion
Mm,
or another, but affiliate space, more like 2004 is when I started to get my feet wet, but 2009 is I started to go gung ho with a Facebook. So when some of my old uh, posts come up, it's all content driven. It wasn't really marketing, inspirational, motivational. I'm a writer. I've published two
mhm,
books. So my thing is like I love to blog, vlog. I mean, you name it. I'm always putting down
mhm,
my thoughts, and I get my inspiration in the morning. And behind me, if you can see
mhm,
this, this is how I have my morning tea, my morning coffee. and I'm
Wow.
always writing. I write because it makes me feel good, and then other people tell me, "Oh, thank you, I need that." So it's nice.
Hmm. Brilliant. So you've got a long experience MLM network marketing. You're obviously making, you're breaking records in the affiliate space. We know that because we've spoken behind the scenes. So just share with the people watching, around the world. What's your biggest struggle online, and how have you overcome that? What has been the biggest struggle, and how have you overcome that?
That is actually a great question. So, in the beginning, I thought I had to be more salesy, more marketing, and
Mm,
then I started to say to myself, you know what? Everybody buys, but nobody wants to be sold. So why are you trying to
mm,
sell people? Like,
mm.
this is not, I sold life insurance when I was 18 years old. I fell into it because my aunt was selling for John Hancock. And so she said, you're either going to be a lawyer, which I was in law school, but I dropped out. But the point is that, she's like, with your mouth and your, charm, and she like really gassed me up. She's just like, you're going to be able to sell the world. And so life insurance is hardcore sales. I hated it. I really did.
Yeah.
So I became a recruiter for the company. So, I started to bring in people, and that's how I got, a little bit of background. But, sales is not something that is innate in all of us. I see myself as a consultant, not
Mm-hmm.
as a salesperson. I started my
Mm,
coaching in 2004,
mm-hmm.
before I even got into the online space 100%.
Wow.
And it was more like I saw myself as an advisor way before I saw myself as, I'm sorry, I, I presumed that role of advisor, consultant, coach before I actually got the formal title and the formal
Mm,
training of it. You know
mm,
what I mean? So I think the biggest struggle for me was I
mm,
didn't want to come off too salesy. I wanted to
mm,
come off genuine. I wanted to come off, what do you call it? Like real, genuine relationships. Not that I'm trying
yeah.
to become a friend of yours just to sell you on something. So that was my biggest
Yeah.
hurdle. Once I broke that code, it was like the
Mm.
floodgates of people were in my inbox. My inbox is never empty; it's always full,
Can
and
imagine.
and I don't have to
I
buy
know.
leads. So I call
No.
Facebook like cheap leads, right? Because it's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you work harder on yourself than you work on your business,
Mm,
your business is going to naturally jump up,
mm,
and so is your income, because your income will never exceed your personal growth. So I spent
mm,
a long time learning about myself. I do meditation in the morning.
mm-hmm,
Health and wellness is a journey. I'm always saying to myself, if you can discipline yourself as to what you put in your mouth, food and
mm-hmm.
drink, you can conquer the world, because that's
Wow.
the hardest thing in life. It's not even
Yeah.
financial. It's
Mm,
more or less, your mindset in the morning when you wake up, in the afternoon when you get the munchies, and the evening when you get stressed out. The discipline of what you put in your mouth, food or drink, is going to determine how you're going to live the course of your life. I know that's a very bold statement, but it's true. It's so true. If you overeat, if you drink a lot, if all these bad habits, they transform into your gut. And believe me, your gut health is something that people regret, that they don't pay attention to. They always talk about the heart, they always talk about the cholesterol, all the stuff that the mainstream talks about. But you don't realize that your gut health determines uh, the serotonin in your brain and the dopamine in your brain. So if your gut is not healthy, you are not mentally healthy. You're going to be stuck running circles. So I know that's not probably the content that you expected to hear from me,
no.
but
Perfect.
it's so true.
Yeah. Guys, thank you. Guys, look, what are you putting in your mouth or your head? We talk about mindset a lot. All the leaders are saying the same thing. Mindset is key. But what a truth bomb. Jenna Marie Stone have just said, what are you putting in your mouth? Hmm. Right, no naughty answers, please. But trust me, guys, it's true. You are what you eat. I do believe you are what you eat. If you put good stuff in your body, you get a good body, a good mind, and obviously your mind is an asset. Brilliant. So thank
Oh,
you for sharing that.
oh yeah.
So,
And if your finances are not in order, chances are your diet is not in order.
mm,
It kind of goes hand in hand. If you look at the
yes,
wealthiest people, they
yeah,
are strict and disciplined with their regimen regarding health, and they're strict
yes,
with their finances. So you can't have one house in disarray and expect the other one to be in order. You know what I mean?
mm,
It has to, it kind of goes, hand in hand. So that's what
yes.
I've been finding, that the more time you spend on yourself, health wise, mental wise, spiritually, the better you're going to have the clarity to have your financial in order. Your
Mm.
financials, I should say, in order.
Brilliant. Yes, I do believe, I think we all, a lot of us, health is the new wealth, guys. So those of you in the health niche, remember there's three niches: health, wealth, and relationships. They all go hand in hand. So, like I said, you've got to have a good mindset. To have a good mindset, you've got to be eating right. And if you're not healthy, you're not going to be wealthy because you can't do much if you're dead. Let's just be blunt. If you're 6 foot under, you can't do much. So that's some awesome truth bombs. So Jenna Marie Stone, for those watching around the world and they're thinking, who is this Jenna Marie Stone? I've seen her around. Just tell us, what is it you're doing right now? Obviously, you're not doing insurance anymore. What are you doing right now online? Just tell the
I'm so
people.
sorry. There was like a private jet. We're right next to the airport. We can take a private jet and come to New
Yeah.
York. It's MacArthur, and that just went over my head, and I couldn't hear it.
Okay.
Sorry. If you could repeat that,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Okay, brilliant. So a lot of people are watching you. They're looking at your feed and going, "Who is this Jenna Marie Stone?" For those of you that are just curious, could you just tell the people what are you working on right now? What are you doing right now?
Okay, perfect. So I study people. That's my
Hmm.
biggest biggest I'm a peoplepreneur, as they say, right? Some people say
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
mompreneur, but I'm a peoplepreneur.
yeah.
So I'm actually working on a few things. I own my own real
Mhm.
estate and asset firm, and so
Wow.
last year it hit a big bump. But I've been in it in
Mm,
space in real estate since 1994. So my thing is that whatever I accrue online, I put it right into assets. I spend, into things that I know are going to produce more wealth. And then whatever's left over, I spend on me. So I'm a little cheap when it comes to buying things for myself, right? I live in my pajamas. I can go out in sweats and a t-shirt, and I'm
mm,
fine with that, right? Ripped jeans and a
mhm.
t-shirt, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I don't spend a lot. I do DoorDash though, a lot when I'm
Mhm,
busy and I'm involved and I don't have time to cook. So I want to make
mhm,
sure, but that's also very expensive. It gets up there.
mhm.
So again, it comes down to discipline. I spent so much money on DoorDash from the pandemic that now that the restaurants are opening up around us, I have to train my mind. Okay, why am I going to my app for DoorDash? Why don't I
Mm.
just, go to the restaurant, or why don't I go to the market and buy stuff and just cook? I actually love to cook. I really do.
Mhm.
I learned how to cook from a young age. But you know what happens when you get involved, and this is something that, again, I'm going off on a tangent, but you need to block out time for your business. You can't do this
Mm.
24/7. And that was another struggle that I had, was the time management. I am a mom, three
Mhm.
three kids in college. They are all, working from home and schooling from home. Husband,
Mhm.
three dogs. So I have my own office, but it's easy to get wrapped up where you're just like working, crazy hours. So you have to take that time out and say, okay, I'm going to give myself a break. I'll go down to the beach. I'll take the dogs for a walk. You have to block times.
Yeah.
Network marketing for me is down to a science now. I do it 1 to 2 hours a day. The rest of the day, I'm prospecting, I'm using social tools, I'm creating content, I'm
Yeah.
completing a third part of my series on a 5-part book that I'm doing. So you have to
Mhm.
take that time out to really understand how you want to plan your day. Otherwise, the day escapes you. So the
Yes.
question that you asked me before was, as far as what I'm working on, I have a few things in the mill. Okay, I have a health and wellness company. I have
Mhm.
a social media company that we are doing together, actually, which brands ourselves, right? And then I have a couple other social media outlets of coaching that I do on a one
Mhm.
on one. Okay. And those are outside of any affiliate marketing. That's just hourly, going back to my coaching days. And
Mhm.
then I also have the Forex and crypto space where we own
Mhm.
the platform. So it's a
Brilliant.
space, it's actually a global academy. I had to actually go back to school and learn how money works in today's time. I have an
Mm.
MBA in finance, PhD in
Mhm.
psychology, and both of them are obsolete because people changed since the pandemic. So whatever they
Mhm.
taught you in school about the psychology of it's out the window. You have to constantly study people to know how they
Mhm.
operate in today's terms. And then Forex and crypto was foreign to a lot of people. I've been in the crypto space since 2010, lost a lot of money in Bitcoin because I sold prematurely and then I got it
Mm.
back. The same thing with real estate. See, one thing about high income earners, you make a lot of money, you also lose a lot of money. And that's what people don't
Yeah.
understand.
No,
If
they
you've
don't.
made it once, you're going to rebuild it again and again. If you've had it handed to you, you're done. Like the lotto people become poor the next day because they go and spend it on frivolous things because they never had it instead of, reinvesting it in themselves or in an asset like a building
Mm.
or even in personal development, whatever.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
my goal was always that, when I said I had to go back to school, a global academy came to my vision. And I said, well, I'm in a social academy, which I'm teaching people digital products on how to better themselves and brand
Mhm.
themselves because people buy people, they don't buy businesses. Why don't I go back to this school, which is a global academy, and learn
Mhm.
how money works? Because to me, money's up there with oxygen and water.
Mhm.
Okay. I'd rather be crying
Yeah.
in a Lamborghini than be crying on a smelly bus with masks on. Right.
Yeah.
So I always say, choose your hard, and then
Yes.
the other thing that a word of advice is network marketing. You don't get paid a lot of money up front to do what we do. Okay. But long term, you make more money than any job. See, a job pays you more up front, but long term, you're never going to crack the code and make six figures and seven figures. You might make six figures, but you know what? You're taxed on that. So you're never really taking it home. So I'm now teaching people about LLCs. I'm now coaching people about tax write offs. I educated myself. I've had an LLC since I was 19 years old. Okay. Because I had my own life, the life insurance, it was a 1099. So I had to learn. And since then, I've had multiple LLCs. But I found out recently, and I'm going to share this, you can have one LLC with five businesses in it. I didn't know that. I just got taught that by my tax
Wow.
accountant. Yes,
Wow.
you don't have to open up an LLC for each business. You can have one
Right.
LLC and have four or five businesses under it.
That's
So
good.
yeah, just interesting stuff there. I give you
That's
a
good.
lot to think about.
Lots of value, guys. Look, mega truth bombs, right? Jenna Marie Stone, highly educated. She's still learning. She's still implementing. She's very successful in my eyes. That's why she's on the show. She's making waves, right? You business owners out there, you know what it's like. Like we've opened a restaurant, we've lost money, we've made money, we've lost money. It's a roller coaster. It's a learning curve. However, a lot of you guys are out there just complaining that you lost a dollar or two. No, you don't know what you're talking about, right? Choose your hard. That's the keyword. LLC. Jenna, we'll be talking later about that because I'm in talks with my advisor on LLCs because it's the way forward. Anyway, couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. I
Sure.
want to know about what book. What book did you read? I mean, these are some of the books that I've read. Right?
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I have a whole library. I mean, if your TV screen is bigger than your library, there's a problem right there. Okay, so if you have a huge TV screen and not a huge library, we need to talk.
Yeah.
But all kidding aside, I just had the team. I have a team that I'm growing, newbies, and I told them to read the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma.
Yes.
He's the one
Yes.
who
I love
also
it.
wrote the monk who sold his Ferrari. Both
Ferrari.
excellent
Yeah.
books. Yep. But
Yes.
currently, I'm reading The Compound Effect. I had to go back to it because that is not easy
Yes.
material. I had to go back, take notes. So Darren Hardy, I mean, did a masterpiece with it, and yeah, I'm actually dissecting it. What are you reading right now?
Okay, I'm rereading The Unfair Advantage. I'm rereading it again, and I'm rereading this one, Financial IQ. It's
Oh,
a very famous
Emotional
book.
IQ.
Yeah,
I love that book.
yeah.
I
So,
love that book. That
um,
is a powerful tool when you can master your emotional IQ.
yes. And I tell you what, I don't have it. I have a TV. It's recently damaged, so I don't watch it anymore. Plus, the news is depressing. So I read books. I make content, and you know what? Lamborghini. They don't have adverts on TV. Why? Because the person watching is not sitting on at home watching TV.
That's
That's an
right.
advert. I'm
And
doing a TikTok on
Bentleys,
that.
you're right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Bentleys as well. They don't. And Rolls Royces. There's no
yeah,
commercials. You're right.
yeah. No. So, Jenna Marie Stone, we're going to be in overtime. So, I want to have you come back next week or in a couple of weeks. Give us an
Okay.
update. The last question for the viewers is if they're interested in working with you, what's the best way to get hold of you? We can drop your links in the
Messenger.
description.
They can
Messenger. There you
message.
go.
Yeah, they can
Okay.
message me in Facebook because I'm highly responsive with the message. I'll see that it's bold and I'll get back to them immediately. And
Yeah.
oftentimes it's just free tips. So I don't
Yeah.
charge when people ask me questions in Messenger, just so people know.
Yes.
Only reason I would charge is if you actually want a full session, either 15-minute a block or a half an hour block regarding social media or whatever it is. That's the obstacles, the mindset. I mean, that's different. But as far as Messenger, I get a lot of questions there, and I'm happy to help people. So
Brilliant.
yeah, that's the best way.
Brilliant. So brilliant. So Jenna Marie Stone, look her on Facebook. She is real. Look at her. She's real. She will respond. She will give you free tips. But if you want more, obviously we charge. Value her time. She's a very clever lady. MBA. She's got a degree, is a master's in psychology, a ton of experience. So please respect her time, guys. And if you're a spammer, just go away. If you're a hater, we don't want to know. If you're an energy vampire, go away. Right? We're looking for
Right.
serious people. Okay. Jenna Marie Stone, I just want to thank you for being on the show. We'll see you again next week. Is there
Awesome.
any quote? Yeah, is there any quote you want to leave the guys with? Any quote or saying that you want to end on? Is there anything you want to say?
I thank you for that, Melvin, because you're a gracious host, and this is probably the most fun I've had in a long time doing an interview. So I thank you for that. A lot of that has to do with your charm and personality. So
Yeah.
a couple of things that I always say is your breakthrough is connected to your been through. So that's
Let's say that one more time.
Your breakthrough is
Yep.
connected to your been through.
Oh,
So your
I see.
breakthrough is connected to your been through. In other words, your breakthrough is coming and it's connected directly to what you did 30, 60, 90, 120 days ago. So the person
Wow.
that you are today is not even evolved yet, because whatever you bring to the table today is a result of what you did 30, 60, 90, 120 days ago. That's the results that you're seeing today. We live in a microwave society and everything wants now, but you don't realize results that I get, I've already planted those seeds, 30, 60, 90, 120 days ago. Because I always work in 4 months times. People do 90-day runs. I do 120-day runs, right?
Wow.
So the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days from now is going to determine the results that you will get. Okay? So stop thinking that 7-figure earners or even 6-figure earners, they're not born in microwave ovens. They're born in pressure cookers. Okay, just like a diamond is just a rock, unless there's you're applying pressure to it. Otherwise, you're not a diamond, right? You're just a rock. So some of us are rocks waiting to be diamonds, but when the pressure is on, we quit. That's like telling somebody, what is the recipe to your cake? You come into my kitchen, I give you all the ingredients, we turn on the heat, and you'll walk out. Why do you do that?
Yeah.
Why do you do that? You have all the keys and all the ingredients to be successful. Mentor. Find yourself a mentor and be coachable. If you're not coachable, no one can help you. But if you're coachable, no one can stop you.
There you go. Wow. Truth bombs. Jenna Marie Stone. Guys, watch this space. You're going to see some lovely Facebook stories from now on. If you haven't friended her already, do connect with Jenna Marie Stone. She's got lovely pictures of fences on her stories. We joke about that.
You love my fence.
You know what I mean. So guys, that's all we have time for. Jenna Marie Stone, you've been lovely. All right, I'll see you next week. We'll chat on Facebook as normal. But thank you very much from New York, New York. Jenna Marie Stone landing some truth bombs. Remember, say hi, don't be rude.
I always say that.
Love it.
Love it.
Okay.
And I follow you, Melvin. You have a great content, and you know what? I love the fact that you're very genuine, you're very transparent, and that's why you're very likable. Just be yourself, people. That's all you have to be. Like, none of us are experts, and finally, you don't have to be perfect to start. Like, that was another thing that I was when I first started out. Everything had to be perfect. Everything had to be right. Everything, the stars had to be aligned exactly. I had to do it. You know what? Stop overthinking it. The only way you're going to get better is if you get started. So
get started.
That's really key.
Yes. Excellent. You see, she talks the talk, we walk the walk. Look, even her camera has got glare, but we carry on. Even I haven't got a ring light. We just got to keep going and be consistent. Guys, that's it. Thank you, Jenna Marie Stone. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to sign off. That was Jenna Marie Stone. So we're just going to sign off. And what I'm going to say to you guys is, look, if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel. We've got more exciting guests on the show. Jenna Marie Stone is awesome. We love her. Some of you guys have heard of her already, so do check out. I'll put the link in the description. Follow her on Facebook. Send her a message, but do respect her time. But in the meantime, that's all we got time for. I'm going to sign out with a signature logo bash, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Teacher and Coach Melvin. Okay, Melvin, the online marketer. Here we go. Well, the outro.